You know Skoda. They make cars with awesome names like the Superb and the Octavia. They also make awesome cars. They're always bigger than the competition. They're fantastic value and they're just a teensy bit quirky. For a long time, the Fabia was the brand's cheapest car, soldiering on under the shadow of those big new SUVs that Skoda has been putting out in the last few years. People fell out of love with small cars and therefore with the Fabia. But this is a big change in direction. Gone is the cheap and cheerful price tag, and with it, one imagines, the cheap and cheerful image. It's got more power, more room, more stuff, and a much bigger price tag. This is the 2022 Skoda Fabia. Before we get going on the 2022 Skoda Fabia walk around, can I ask you, if you haven't already, hit subscribe and hit the bell button so that when a new video goes live on the channel, you will know about it straight away. And of course, get involved in the comments. Small cars, do we even still buy them? Do we even still need them? Let's hear about it. In this video, we're going to talk about most of the things we normally talk about: how much it costs, what is the Skoda Fabia, what's it like inside, what do you get, what's the warranty and servicing like. The only thing we can't talk to you about is how it drives. Right, now I've told you what to do, let's get on with it. The Skoda Fabia is what the industry calls a light hatchback. It has 5 seats, 5 doors, and shares its underguts with the VW Polo, a car that was just recently very heavily refreshed. This is the only Skoda Fabia you can buy from 2022. It's the Skoda Fabia Monte Carlo Edition 150. That's a name for you. Anyway, straight away you can see this is an all-new car. A lot more creases, a lot more angles. That's very modern Skoda. But you can see that Skoda has thrown the kitchen sink at this car. It's got everything. Well, just about everything anyway. LED lighting, black 18-inch alloy wheels, aggro bumpers front and rear, big black grille. You know this is coming at you when you see this in the flesh. It's a really cool looking car. It's also bigger because the platform has got bigger. It rolls on the MQB platform, which underpins so many cars in the VW group, which means it's full of really good stuff and safety gear. We're going to have a much closer look at all of that. You might want to be sitting down for this. The Skoda Fabia Monte Carlo Edition 150 is $37,990. That is a lot of money. It's about 15 grand more than the previous car. However, there is some context here. The refreshed Volkswagen Polo, which has a less powerful 1-litre engine, is only a couple of grand less in mid-spec form. A Toyota Yaris in mid-spec form is barely cheaper again, and it hasn't got anything like the kind of stuff this car or even the Polo has, and it is much smaller. So you're getting a lot for your money. You're not going to miss anything for your $37,990, but small cars have got really expensive in the last couple of years. It's partly because we don't buy enough of them, and when we do, we want to buy the one with the lot. So here we are. Straight away when you get in this car, you feel it is much bigger and much more comfortable. The old car felt a little bit hemmed in, kind of was quite a bit smaller, but here you can stretch out, you feel like you're in a bigger car, because it is quite a bit bigger. And the materials in here, they're so much better than the old car. You've got leather steering wheel here, you've got this cool carbon fibre. It's actually a fabric, but it looks like carbon fibre. Sometimes carbon fibre looks really naff in cars, but this looks great, and it actually feels quite nice too. Some really nice detailing, like the perforation in this plastic here, and a little kind of ribbed effect around the side of these. It's just cool. And of course some perforation here on the steering wheel. These seats are fantastic. They look expensive and they feel it. They really hold you in. And they've got this cool kind of stripe effect. It kind of reminds me a little bit of that Martini stripe thing, but obviously it's not for licensing. There's a lot of tech in here as well. You've got a 10.25-inch screen here in front of you. You can go the full nav or full gauges, whatever you like. A 9.2-inch touchscreen with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and of course wireless charging. They just should go together. I do not understand why you have wireless CarPlay and not wireless charging. But you do also get 2 USB-C ports for the charging. There's a slot here that you could lay a Red Bull can down in, but there's nowhere to put a cup. It doesn't really bother me, but some people do like having a cup holder in the car. You do have big door pockets and the trademark Skoda bin. And speaking of Skoda trademarks, you get in the door, when I can get around to it, an umbrella. Now, just like the front seats, these back seats are really comfortable, and I'm going to say uncommonly comfortable for a light car. they're really well shaped. The backs are really kind of carved out so you actually sit down and into the seat. And yeah, we're talking kind of fall asleep comfortable, which I don't think I've ever said about a car seat, except maybe for a Rolls Royce, but that's bad when you're in the front. But this is great, really, really comfortable. What do we got back here? Well, I'm going to start with what we don't have. There's no cup holders. Why are there no cup holders, you ask? Well, there aren't any in the front, so that's weird. But also, there's no armrest. Look, call me crazy, but I reckon at 38 grand you want an armrest. But anyway, doesn't have it, just so you know. A lot of small cars don't have it anyway. But what you do have, apart from all this comfort, is you have air vents. You know I'm big on air vents in the back. This car has it. Very few small cars do. Some big cars don't have it, which I find insane. Plenty of space as well. I've got heaps of knee room, heaps of foot room under here. I'm sitting behind where I sit. I'm 180 centimetres tall, and I'm telling you that a 6 foot tall person is able to sit in the back of this car really, really comfortably. Now, there's a really good reason for that. This car is 12 centimetres longer than the old car, so for the first time the Fabia is more than 4 metres long. It's 5 centimetres wider, so you've got a bit more elbow and shoulder room. And crucially, the wheelbase is 10 centimetres longer. And what that means, the wheels are 10 centimetres further apart front to rear, and all of that extra space has gone into right here. Now, it might be 5 centimetres wider, but this tub here in the middle, which might be removable, but that's right there. So sitting in the middle, you're going to have to straddle it. That's not going to be a lot of fun. And that's also where the 2 USB-C ports are. There's also map pockets, but what I really like about these map pockets is this little extra phone pocket here on the front, so that when you do have your phone sitting there, you're going to see it and you're not going to lose it. So yeah, look, I'm really impressed with how comfortable this car is. This is a genuine, proper 4-seater car. You might have remembered me getting very excited about the Polo's boot a few weeks ago, but we have a new winner. The Fabia's boot is a massive 390 litres. We put the seats down, it gets even bigger to 1190 litres. That has to be one of the biggest boots in any light car ever. The Fabia has 6 airbags, the usual stability and traction controls, multi-collision brake, low-speed AEB with pedestrian and cyclist detection, side assist, reversing camera and, fanfare please, reverse cross-traffic alert. Every car should have it, the Fabia has it. ANCAP has obviously not crashed this car, but Euro NCAP has, and it scored 5 stars. Underneath the sharply creased bonnet is this, a 1.5 litre turbocharged 4-cylinder. Now, I know you're excited by the 150 in the name. It's not 150 kilowatts, it's 150 horsepower. But that's okay, because that means 110 kilowatts and 250 newton meters of torque. That is quite a lot to shift 1,270 kilos of car. And that itself is pretty good for a fully loaded little car like this. It's got a 7-speed dual clutch transmission, and Skoda says it will do around about 4.9 litres per 100 Ks on the combined cycle. Skoda offers a 5-year unlimited kilometre warranty and a year of roadside assist that renews with every service. You can buy a 5-year service pack for $1,500, which is quite reasonable, or a 7-year pack for $2,100, which is still pretty good, and hardly anyone offers coverage for that long. Service intervals are 12 months, 15,000 kilometres. You can also buy a monthly subscription based on how many kilometres you drive and whether you want basic or more advanced cover. That starts at about $35 a month for 13 months, then goes up to $70. It covers things like servicing, wiper blades, brake discs and pads, and you score a courtesy car when you do go in for a service. The complete plans are about 50% more and cover all that as well as tyres. Make sure you do the numbers, but that seems reasonable. The new Skoda Fabia, look, it's a whole new thing. It looks better, it's better proportioned, it's rolling on all this updated stuff, so you get all the safety goodies. You've got a great engine in there. I have driven this engine before, it's really, really good, and it hauls things as big as a Tiguan, so it's gonna do just fine with this. It's got the 7-speed transmission too, which means it's gonna be a smoother drive. We don't know that yet, it's a couple of months away before we can drive this, but sitting in the car, touching, feeling, playing with it, this seems like a pretty good start.